Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to TNS Radio. We're now live on the air. Time check for you, 16:54, 3rd of the 3rd, 2012 AD. So hello to all the listeners on TNS Radio. This is coming to you live from Glencanna. And I think, who's up first? Ben Gilroy is going to, well, you're going to play the video first, eh? Okay, go ahead and I'll pass the audio through to everybody listening.
Guards, are you on your own here today?
Sorry?
Are you on your own here today?
Well, I have assisted Sheriff.
Yeah, but are you on your own here today?
Guard O.
Are you on your guard own here today?
I've no confirmation.
Okay, well, it's on YouTube anyway, so the Gardaí aren't even on their own.
So you're on.
Come on, have a look. Yeah, have a look.
Have you an application?
No, I don't have an application.
Well, then sure, we don't know who you are. That's a piece of paper.
It's a warrant signed by the county registrar.
Yeah, but who are you?
County Sheriff, Pat Dunn is my name.
Right.
Mr. Winston knows me here.
Yeah, but are you the sheriff or not the sheriff?
I'm here as representing the sheriff.
Yeah, but we rang your office yesterday and you told us outside you were the sheriff. Why is the sheriff not here? No, we rang your office. We rang your office and they're all saying you're the sheriff and you're not the sheriff.
I am the sheriff.
You're not the sheriff. You just said you're deputy sheriff. Are you the sheriff? Hold on. Are you the sheriff or not the sheriff?
Look, I've no further comments to make.
Then, okay, but then what about your business then? Because you've no business here.
I'm here on the authority of the courts to execute a warrant.
Yeah, that's right. And we haven't seen the warrant, nor have we seen the court orders yet. And we ask you who you are. Right, and you said you're assistant sheriff. Why is the sheriff not here today?
That's the court order.
Who signed it? Who signed it? Ferguson. The sheriff who signed it. But that's the sheriff.
That's the order.
Yeah, but that's the sheriff.
Yeah.
The sheriff is signing his own orders.
Sorry, Mr. Winston has gone through the courts.
I understand that.
He's appealed this.
I understand.
I know that. Going on right into the High
Yes.
Court, and our instructions is to execute the warrant.
Exactly. What I'm saying to you is, your warrant is signed by the sheriff. Ben Gilroy is my name.
Yes. And who are you representing?
I'm representing Defend Our Homes League here today.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what I'm saying to you is, that order is signed by the sheriff.
Yeah.
Right. So he's making his own orders as a private company to come and take homes.
Nothing. This is fully legal. Okay?
It's what?
If you want to go to the courts and contest the order, you're more than free to do
Well,
so.
hold on, but the registrar is the guy up on the bench where they're doing the orders and he's signing his own orders and coming as sheriff then to inflict them.
Yeah.
You think that's legal?
This order has been through the court.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But the person who gives the order is the registrar, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yes. In some
He has
cases-
jurisdiction,
in some
yes,
cases.
except under the court, that's right. But in
In some
leash it is.
cases.
Yes.
It's not always in leash.
No, we're talking about the registrar in leash. He's
Yes.
the same, he's the sheriff and the registrar.
The sheriff, county registrar, exactly.
Yes, that's my point.
He's the sheriff,
So that's not
registrar.
lawful. He sits up on the bench
Well,
with his registrar's hat on, makes an order, steps down, puts on his sheriff's hat, and now makes money out of inflicting these orders on
What do you
people.
mean makes money?
He's making money as registrar or as the sheriff.
He's applied as county registrar, sheriff.
I understand. I have no problem. I understand. I understand. A week's wages as registrar.
Yes.
My problem is when he gives an order, he steps down off the bench and is a private company then acting as sheriff.
If you have a problem with that,
We have a huge problem with that because it's not lawful, and we're asking the Guardian to uphold the law
take it up
today.
with the courts. Don't mind taking it up with me.
But the point is, when I'm saying to you about the sheriff's office, when I go to the courts, the sheriff then puts on his court hat. That's totally illegal, and there's no separation of powers there.
But if it was illegal, why has it been going on for generations?
Because it hasn't been going on here. I'll tell you why. Because now the people have educated themselves, and they're not people with pitchforks anymore. They're educated people to stand up to the likes of you come and do these orders. And we're asking the Gardaí today now to uphold the law.
Mr. Wilson went into the courts and appealed to them various
And what business of that is yours? Like what I'm saying to you is you're a private company.
I'm not a private
You
company.
are. Who are you then?
I'm here from the sheriff's department.
And who pays your wages?
The sheriff, the civil service.
Yes, exactly. They're a private company though. They act on commission.
We're not a private.
They act on commission.
Who does?
Do they act on commission or not? The Sheriff's Department.
I get absolutely nothing whatsoever for this today, other than my week's wages, which I will get on Friday.
It's probably wages to get. You
What?
can't take large family homes off
No,
people.
I'm sorry. I don't take any pleasure out of this no more than anyone else.
Right.
I have to say, and
all I'm saying is,
I've been doing this job for almost 31 years.
Right.
I did it all, and my work has never been questioned.
right,
And
well,
I've never.
Well, it's about time it has been.
I've always been questioned. I've always been questioned in as much a business-like fashion as I
right.
could.
Well,
And
let
this
me
is
ask you
what's
then.
going on.
Right, well, when you have that sort of fairness then, do you
Yeah.
think it's fair that the registrar, right, makes an order to repossess a house and steps down and puts his sheriff's hat on
What the
and comes
registrar
in?
does is way above me, to be honest with you.
That's not the question I'm asking you.
Well, you're
I'm not asking-
here on behalf of him.
I'm asking you.
Whether it's fair or unfair, it's not my job to come.
Well, is it lawful then?
Well, it obviously is lawful.
Why? What obvious to who? I mean, to most people, it's not obvious.
It's obvious that the courts say it's fair.
But he is the courts. That's like asking me, is it fair that we don't let you in here today? Of course that's fair.
No, but you keep going around that circle.
I'm asking you a question though, and I keep asking you the same question.
Yeah.
The registrar gives the order.
Yes.
Then he puts on his sheriff's hat and tells you go and repossess the home.
exactly.
And you think that's fair.
That's right.
And lawful.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm telling you it's not. And I'm asking the Gardaí today to uphold common law, which they're sworn to do. And this is not a common law. Now, also under the Constitution, a man's house is inviolable under the Constitution except as to law. What law did this man break?
I'm not saying he broke any law.
Well, then why are you here?
He broke no law.
The Gardaí should represent the
I'm not
Constitution.
why you're here because he got a mortgage, which has to be paid.
Yeah, but the bank got paid for it though.
No, the bank
The bank got paid for it.
Securitisation. If they did, I wouldn't be here.
Now look, hold on a second. What I'm saying to you today is, under the Constitution, Section 40, Section 5, subsection 5, a man's house is unviable under the Constitution except as to the law. We're all law-abiding people. And what I'm saying to you is, respect the law, and the Gardaí should respect the law as well. The common law, which they were sworn to uphold. And the man has not broken any law, so his home is inviolable.
Well, why am I don't know why I'm standing here today.
Neither do we.
We're saying the same thing. But the court judgment is signed by your boss, the sheriff.
Well, I mean, if everything you say,
It's true. What's your name? Will I show you the Constitution?
I don't see the Constitution. I'm not a solicitor.
You don't need to be a solicitor to see the
but
Constitution.
I don't want to see the Constitution.
Well, the guard will tell you what the Constitution is, I'm sure.
You've got sufficient time to go back into the courts with the
Will we
Constitution.
go back into the court?
Well, why don't you go before the-
Because there's a challenge before the court, and we're asking you to hold on to until such a time as that's heard.
Yeah, but Mr. Winston got a stay of
Signed
execution.
by your boss.
No, he didn't.
No,
he
but
went
you're
to the
saying...
High Court and got a stay of execution.
That's right.
Which no longer stands.
Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
But the judge at the time was not aware that there's a constitutional challenge being made as to the power of the registrar.
Yeah.
A registrar has only got the jurisdiction of something like 36,000 in the circuit court, am I right? Are you telling me this house is worth 36,000 or he hasn't stepped out of jurisdiction?
I'm not going to.
Right, of course. Yeah, well, he stepped out of jurisdiction. I can tell you it's more than 36,000.
Well, obviously the order was fully okay.
Well, obvious to who?
When the High Court dealt with it.
But that doesn't matter. What I'm saying to you is the High Court is not above the Constitution in this country, nor is it above common law. They're commercial courts, and they've no jurisdiction here.
This is it, yeah.
Right, for them.
Well, look at, guys,
This is the law of the land. It's not operating under the laws.
We're not going to do anything today because obviously you're preventing us from doing anything.
We're not preventing. I'm only asking you to go and check the Constitution and find out where the referendum took place that says a man's house is now viable when he doesn't break the law. I understand if a man commits murder out there and runs into a home, I agree the Gardaí can go into the house because that house is viable. You can go into it because he has broken the law. But that's the only case under our Constitution where a man's home is viable. And that's the I didn't make it up. I mean, go home and read it and tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I'm not making it up either, telling the truth. But I mean, why am I getting warrants for possession of property?
Yeah, but you should be questioning it. We're here questioning it.
Why should I question a judge of the High Court who is way above?
But he didn't give the order. Signed by your boss, the sheriff. Yes, but your order here, I understand that, but your order is signed by your boss, the sheriff.
Okay.
Right? The role of the sheriff was to protect people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so antiquated and ancient that you're coming enforcing these laws. Now, our new laws, the Constitution, are well after the Shire Reef laws came. And the Gardaí are here today under common law, which they're sworn to uphold. And that's the Constitution.
The Gardaí are here
I have great respect for the Gardaí. Why do you need to expect them? Why are you attacking you? There's nobody attacking you, is there? You're making it out like you need protection. I understand. Well, look, there's nobody here to change you. I understand.
And that's the reason why the Gardaí decided.
I understand.
You needn't be trying to drag these people into it.
You brought them. You brought them.
You're using every little twist and angle to benefit yourself. That's what you're doing.
Okay, give me a chance. I have no actually going with the Gardaí. I think they do a terrific job when they uphold common law, which their oath is to do. And that's all I'm asking them to do. Don't pretend I'm against Gardaí. I am not. I have never been in trouble with Gardaí before in my life. So I don't have any trouble with the Gardaí. I respect them. But all I'm saying is that they also must respect the Constitution and the laws of this land. You're coming with old Shire Reef laws from the UK, which we quicked out of here years ago. Right, and that's all I'm saying to you. Now you're also saying, why should you question the order given?
Why didn't you with all this stuff long before now?
Because Lee only got in touch with me and I only knew he was getting repossessed, so we intend bringing cases back before the court.
But he's gone to the court himself and appealed all these things.
Yeah, but Lee wasn't educated about it. Yeah, he wasn't educated about it, so we're educating him. And that's all. We're asking you to respect the Constitution. You're not above the Constitution. You would agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then have a look at Section 40 and come back. And if you think we're telling untruths, that's fair enough.
It's not up to me to deal with them matters, to be honest with you.
You're going to break the Constitution because you're told.
I'm not breaking anything.
I was just following orders.
Constitution.
Can you go and check that?
Would you go and check it out?
I'm not going to check the Constitution whatsoever. No, it's nothing to do with me.
Constitution.
It's everything to do with you. It's nothing to do with me. I've been sent here by the sheriff.
So the sheriff's department is above the Constitution.
Well, he's got the order. It's been appealed.
No, that's not the question I asked. I said, is he above the Constitution?
I'm not saying he's above the Constitution.
But it doesn't appeal to you.
Mr. Winston has appealed this order and he's gone to the High Court.
That's fine.
And yet the order still stands.
That's right, but it's in conflict with the Constitution.
So
why we need to bring a case? We have a case before the courts coming in April.
Why didn't the High Court say, well, I'm sorry, the county registrar put
because
this
they're
order
a commercial court for making money. That's why. They're a commercial court. That's why when the Gardaí act as policy enforcer, that's where we get the word police enforcer. It's not a matter of seeing it that way.
Well, it seems like
it wasn't the common law court, was it?
This is it, yeah.
It wasn't the common law court.
Well, no, it wasn't a common law.
No, well then it's a commercial court, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, and that's what I'm saying. So that is not under the Constitution. We here represent the Constitution of Ireland. And that's all we're saying. We're not here threatening anybody. You've never
Yeah,
threatened.
but obviously you're not going to allow me into...
But we're only asking you if the rights to come up. Who owns Ulster Bank?
I don't know who owns Ulster
Her
Bank.
Majesty's Treasury.
Who owns Ulster Bank?
Well, Her Majesty's Treasury do. But you're here doing our work against our Constitution.
That's fair enough.
Absolutely.
That's fair enough. But did he ask that when he was borrowing the money?
No, he didn't because he wasn't educated. But we're educated. But you're not very educated yourself. You told me you didn't know the section and you're the one enforcing it.
For the last 31 years.
For the last 30
And
years.
the Constitution, you don't need to know the Constitution.
Yeah, but look, I deal with people every other day.
Look, you seem like a nice man to me.
All they're interested in when they want to buy a piece of property is where they can get the money.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But hold on a second.
When they can't pay it back, it's a totally different
It is,
story.
I agree with you, right.
Yeah,
but when the banks got into trouble and broke the laws and looked for the money, the Irish people didn't go evicting them like they should have. They were made bail the people out. And that's another injunction we're bringing. Yeah, so that's the point. Right. And can you prove to us today that the taxpayers' money who bailed out the bondholders are not some of the bondholders in Ulster Bank?
No, I can't.
Why is that? Well, you see, that's the homework you should have done when you were claiming Lee wasn't educated. You should have educated yourself.
I'm not claiming he's not
Yeah.
educated.
Look, you seem like a nice man. I don't want to get in an argument with you. All I'm asking is respect the Constitution and common law in this land and go and just check. If you find you're right, come back.
The banks have also securitised this mortgage.
Thanks very much, guards. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Gilroy is about to speak now.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot his deputy. Okay, folks, this is a bit of a financial mess we're in today, and what we want to do is try and show, because you know the sheriff and all these guys that come out, they all seem to be very interested in the law, and the law as I understand it or can see it doesn't seem to apply to them. It only applies to the poor Joe Soaks who may be getting evicted or are in a bit of trouble paying back some of this so-called money we were supposed to have got. So there was laws in place that a lot of people in the country wouldn't know about. They were called liquidity laws, and they were done by the financial regulator, and they were to protect the banks from needing bailouts and refinancing. And in the IFSC down there in Dublin, it looks like every bank was breaking the law that was supposed to protect us and our sovereign money. And instead the government, instead of putting these people in jail and maybe sending the sheriff to these banks, what they did was they sent the sheriff to us, and they forced us to pay back these unsecured bondholders. And these unsecured bondholders were probably, the best way to describe them, are gamblers. And they took a gamble on Ireland's riskiest bank, if not Europe's riskiest bank. And it wasn't just Anglo-Irish that did it, it was many other banks that were involved. I'm going to show you a clip. Have you got that one there, Jonathan? Yeah. I'll just show you a clip here. This is a programme that went out in Australia because they daren't show it on our national broadcaster RTE or any television in Ireland. But this here is about, this is a guy that I met. He was a German, well, sorry about that. He was a German, and he was headhunted to work in a bank called UniCredit in Ireland. And the reason he was headhunted was he was one of the best financial traders probably in Europe at the time. And when they headhunted him, he came from Germany. So in Germany, you know, they would be used to the rules over there. And if a rule over there said in Germany in financial trading, you must not go above this limit or the bank is at risk, then they didn't do it. And they would report it immediately and people would be fined and put in prison. Now we had the same laws here. We had laws that would put a maximum of 5 years in prison if you broke these laws. But of course, they were never enforced here in Ireland. And this guy couldn't believe it, so he came from Germany. Yeah, he came from Germany, and when he came over, you know, the minute it would go a little bit over, he would start reporting it to his boss. And they were all amazed at this German guy, that this actually bothered him because there was 5 years in jail. So I'll show you a little video. This went out on Australian TV, and you'll see this guy Jonathan Sugarman. He's a German that was working here in Dublin, and he blew the whistle here. And of course, the punishment was he lost his job for blowing the whistle. But we'll just show you the next.
Hello, I'm Emma Alberti in London, and this is Foreign Correspondent.
Sounds like aliens.
Give me a bit of light for a second.
Some light. Oh. Oh.
In London, and this is Foreign Correspondent. When did banking become an extreme sport, where the players don't get penalised, but the spectators do?
That is like walking into a police station with a knife with blood on it and say, I've just killed someone, and they just say, fine, just don't do it again.
Maybe the rogue who single-handedly brought down an upstanding British bank has a few ideas.
I didn't enjoy a moment of it. You know, there was always the fear that what was happening was going to be exposed.
Tonight, as Europe teeters and the rest of the world worries about the fallout, insiders take us into a world that's trashed the rulebook and wiped out the line between risky and reckless.
There's absolutely no hope for the financial system offers reputation worldwide in this country.
They're the bad boys of high finance, burning millions, sometimes billions of dollars. But given the recklessness of banks and their central role in the economic crisis gripping Europe and sending shockwaves around the world, are rogue traders maverick loners, or just